So yeah, today I'm here with Comfort. Comfort is just gonna talk. We're just gonna have a conversation about staying motivated, experience with
Yeah.
motivation, and goal setting. Yeah, this should just be a quick conversation just to help anybody who's struggling with staying focused on their goals. So Comfort, I will do a very little talking, educate us. Just start with telling us a bit about yourself and motivation. Exactly what motivation means to you.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Comfort, and I'm speaking to you from Windhoek, Namibia, capital city. I am a content creator in almost basically every sense of the word, and my favorite medium of creation is video because I get to talk, you get to see who you're talking to, you get to experience their personality and all of that. And I think it's just a really cool way to build the skill of becoming just more comfortable and public speaking as well, right? So motivation to me is without sounding too technical, it's just your ability to be able to do something, to get up and do what you need to do. And it's something that a lot of people struggle with. And I think also just understanding what it is or how long it's supposed to last, right? Because then you can say to yourself, oh, I'm so motivated to run 10 kilometers. Then you get to like 1.5 kilometers, you're like, listen, this
Like what I said
motivation is
earlier.
done because
Yeah.
because this task is so hard. Like, how do people do this? So I think understanding that as well, that motivation is something that kind of gets you started, but there are other things that keep you on track to get to that goal.
Awesome. That is great. That is great. Do you think it's possible to be constantly motivated? Do you think that's a possible thing?
I don't know, honestly. I think if it was if it was possible, then I probably would be a millionaire by now. But like,
Yeah.
because I think it's possible to be motivated about different things or different aspects of your goal at different times, right? During the journey of the goal to get to the goal that you have. But I don't know if it's possible to wake up every single day and be motivated. I think that's where discipline comes in and being accountable, right? So you say to yourself, okay, today I'm motivated that for the next 30 days, I'm going to wake up at 5 o'clock. And tomorrow you wake up, you feel excited, like, yes. And you feel, you try to examine yourself. You're like, oh, I feel good. This feels fine. And that's probably because you slept earlier the day before, right? Then the next day, you didn't sleep as early as possible. And 5 o'clock just seems like hell. The alarm goes off and you're like, I'm just going to snooze because I did not get enough sleep the night before, or I did this and that. You start to make excuses. But if you say to yourself, yes, I'm motivated today to do this thing over the next 30 days. And then the days in between or the times in between where you don't feel motivated, you commit to it because of discipline, right? You say to yourself, even though I just slept at 2 a.m., I'm going to get up at 5 because this is what I've committed to do. And I actually just posted about that recently on Twitter, where I said that self-discipline is an expression of self-love. So you have to say to yourself, I love myself enough to do this hard thing because it is good for me, right? So you have to just kind of put that in, that will be like your basis of your motivation or your discipline. Because motivation is like, I feel like motivation is like when you get a drink of Fanta, for example. It's nice, it's sweet, or bubblegum rather. It's nice, it's sweet, but after a while it loses the sweetness. Now you're just chewing for the sake of chewing, and you could just throw it away and get a new one, or you could just keep chewing, right? So it's kind of like that. In the beginning, it's all sweet, and you tell the whole world, I'm going to do this. And everybody's like, yay. go, you can do it. And then like a few days, you're like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I don't feel this anymore. Why am I even doing this? I mean, like, nobody's going to judge me, nobody's going to die if I don't do this. You start making excuses to yourself, and you fall off track. So no, I don't think it's possible to be motivated every day. But discipline gets you through.
Yeah, you keep on mentioning these words, motivation and discipline. Some people think they're the same thing. Do you think there's a difference between motivation and discipline?
I would say yes, there is. There's definitely a difference between motivation and discipline. I think discipline would be more of the action, right? The fact that you know that you're doing this thing regardless of what the circumstance is. For example, if you say to yourself, I'm gonna be taking a jog every day, right? You have if it's rainy that day, you have the excuse to say it's raining, I don't have to go.
Right.
I don't want to go in the rain, right? But if you go, you know that that day that you did that exercise is going to count for something eventually. Missing that one day is really going to, it might, I mean, you miss today, you tell yourself tomorrow, like, I don't have to go anymore, I already missed the day. I don't know if people are like me, like, I don't like to start my goals during the week. I always tell myself I'll start on Monday.
Monday, yeah.
Or I will start like on the first of the new month, right? Like, it doesn't matter. A day is a day. As they say, like, today can either be day one, or you can either have one day, or today can be day one.
Day one,
So,
yeah.
exactly. So it's like discipline is definitely different from motivation. I think motivation is more emotional. That excitement, that rush of adrenaline that you feel like, oh, this thing is possible, I can do this. But then the discipline is the hard part, right? Because you have to really commit. You have to really, it's more about the action than the emotion in that part. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's exactly how I feel. Like, sometimes I have this big goal, especially New Year, especially when the year is new. Oh my God, I have like these goals. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna lose weight, make money, do all these things this year. Like, I'll become Superman at the end of this year. And then January 1st, I'm killing it. January 6th, I'm still killing it. But if you check on me on the 20th, on the 21st, I'm like, next year, please. You try again next year.
Try again next year. And it's true. Can I ask, what were some of the goals that you set for yourself for this year that you are still on track with, and which ones have you let go of completely?
Chioma, you just emotional damage, emotional attack. That's what this is. No, but yeah, I like being transparent. So one of the goals that I set this year was to earn more passive income. I think for a lot of years, almost all the income I've been earning has been very active, me doing this. But I wanted to focus more on investing and just doing some other things that'll bring up passive income. So I think that is one goal that I really am happy that this is September, and I've made a lot of progress learning about this, doing these things, keeping myself accountable on this one goal. It's been hard, it's been up and down in the middle. It's not easy, but just knowing what has helped me with this goal is just picturing myself 5 years from now and just having that image of where I want to be, and just knowing that everything I'm doing is getting me there, even if I'm not, exactly seeing the success right now. It's getting me there. I'm on the right path. So every little thing I do is getting me to the passive income goal. So that's one goal that I can say, okay, I'm proud of. I'm a gangster. I did this one. But the other goal, the other goal that is hard is to eat healthier, eat healthy meals. That one was the same story. Started off this year, I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna, buy more healthy food.
Yes.
But up to last week, 2 weeks ago, you could find Peter just eating anything he wants to eat, right?
I know.
Yeah, that one is essentially hard for me because like my relationship with food is based on my mood. Exactly. So if I'm really
Mm-hmm.
stressed, I go for my
Mm-hmm.
comfort food. I use your name
Yeah.
and say,
Yeah.
I go for my comfort food when I'm stressed. So that's why I
Yeah.
need more discipline, because
Yeah.
it's those times when you're stressed that you need to actually eat healthy. It's not when, you feel good and everything is fine. Eat
Yeah.
healthy. It's, you know, 1
Yeah.
a.m., you're hungry. What are you going to eat? That's
Like I always tell people, for me, well, this year was also a time when I took to kind of reevaluate how I eat as well.
Mhm.
But like last year, I would tell people I don't snack. You know how people snack, like they'll be like, oh, I just want some. No,
Mm.
I will eat a whole meal. And that ended up being that I would eat like 5 meals in a day. And I was just thinking, nah, girl, nah. Something
Okay.
needs to change. Something needs to change. But yes, I can empathize.
Awesome, awesome. Um, so yeah, do you have any tips for people that want to set their goals? Maybe someone is about 16, 17, they are really confused about what they want to do, who they want to be.
Yeah.
Why is it important to have a goal? And do you have any tips about goal setting?
Yes, absolutely. Especially if you're younger, you have such a great advantage because you have time. That's what the rest of us don't have because we are getting older already. And I think that no matter what your goal is, the most important thing that you need to actually build is the muscle of discipline, like I mentioned earlier. Because trust me, it doesn't matter what the goal is. If you don't have discipline, you're not getting closer to it regardless. So I think just practicing how to have discipline, how to stick to things when they are difficult, when it's really, really difficult, you just keep going to try and get to the end goal. So maybe setting smaller goals or shorter goals, or for the next 3 months, I'm going to um, design stuff on Figma, even if it's for 5 minutes every day. For the next 3 months or 2 months, I'm going to wake up every day at 6:30 and drink a cup of water. I think that is is very crucial because if you discipline, if you can have discipline, like I'm a very disciplined person, then you know that no matter what goal you set for yourself, you're going to achieve it. You're going to start from when you are extremely motivated and go through the depths in the ghetto when it feels horrible. And you're going to get to the goal at the end and look back and say to you, I'm proud of myself for sticking through and getting to my goal, because that's the most important thing. If you're like a teenager or just younger, invest your time in skills, right? In skills that really excite you, skills really, I don't know, that just make you feel good about yourself. And that could really be anything at all, because there's so many things happening in the world right now, and so many opportunities available. And if your goal is also linked to something that you enjoy, then it's like you wake up every day to do something that you love, right? A lot of people wake up every day and they play video games. A lot of people wake up every day and they play video games for money. There's a difference, because here I'm playing video games, wasting 5 hours. I do enjoy it, but if I know that I'm getting paid for it, I'm enjoying it times two because
True.
it just
Yeah.
it's just good like that. So really finding ways to tie your goals to things that benefit you emotionally, psychologically, and financially is very important, so that no matter what's going on in life, money is not everything, but it's nice to have money. So yeah, and that also helps you feel rewarded for the time and the investment that you have put in as well. um, I think those are three things already.
Awesome, awesome. This
um,
is really this
setting
is
goals.
gold right now. Like I'm
Yeah,
actually getting motivated
awesome.
to accomplish. So yeah, I had a question about time. Yeah. So, we're not in control of
Mhm,
time. We don't have, we can say, okay, in this time, this is going to
mhm.
happen. We're all just, bouncing
Yeah.
around trying to find ourselves. So knowing that we are not in control of time, is it still important to like set time and deadlines in goal setting? Do you think it's still important?
I think so. I definitely think so because um I mean, don't pressure yourself, right? Don't say by this age I need to have this. It's nice to have that, but if you get there and you don't have that, it's not the end of the world, right? So yes, set the goal, but also know that if you're not able to achieve it, it's not the end of the world. But like they always say, aim for the sun, and if you land among the stars, it's you know that you still got somewhere. And I think that's what it is, like setting those time goals, like by this age I want to have this, or in 6 months I want to have this. It's not that you're tying your identity to the time and the goal. It's that you're working towards something. You're making sure that you're moving forward, you're progressing. In the book Atomic Habits, he talks about the 1% concept or rule, which says that every day doing something to get 1% better every single day is better than doing nothing at all. So if you set that goal for yourself and you say, okay, let's say for example, by 25, I want to have a house. If you get to 25 and you don't have a house, but you look at your bank account and you still have money that's close to buying a house, it's better not than having zero. And that's the difference. So yes, set those goals, but don't tie your identity to it. And know that if you don't achieve it, nobody is going to come and arrest you. You have set a goal for yourself. You're accountable to yourself, and you have done your best. You are doing your best every single day. So also give yourself that room, that grace, that if I don't have it by that time, at least I'm closer to getting it than not having set that goal. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, yes, it does make sense. And that is actually really
Awesome.
brilliant because I remember at 18, when you're 18, you just want things very fast. Okay, I want to make a lot of money. I want to have a house. I want to do this like very,
Yes.
very fast.
Yes.
And it was good because it gave me motivation at a young age and
Yeah.
gave me a lot of direction. But what I failed
Yeah.
to realize is that by 23, by 24, your brain is still forming, you're still learning.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's like no, maybe start off with like a timeline, but overall, no
Mm-hmm.
pressure on yourself because
No
you're still
pressure.
learning, you're still growing, you're still
Yeah.
in your learning
Yeah.
stage. So yeah, I really like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Absolutely.
Um, so yeah, people like hearing stories. Comfort, they really love stories. So in a few minutes, I want you to pick any story in your life, anything you feel comfortable sharing. But yeah, just tell us, brag on us, be our inspiration. Just, just
Brag. Oh my God.
yeah, you
Oh
have the
wow.
platform to
I don't
brag.
have anything to brag about. I think a story that you can probably find even on my channel or on my social medias is the fact that I left Namibia and I went to South Africa all by myself,
Wow.
to pursue filmmaking, to pursue a degree or qualification in filmmaking. And that was an incredible moment in my life because it was, number one, the first time I'm stepping out of the house. And I didn't just, most people move out down the street.
Street
I left the
to
country.
another country.
I was like, I'm out. I left the country. And I just went on a whole new adventure. It was really cool. And I really encourage people to try things like that because as an individual, you learn so much about yourself. And that becomes the lens through which you start to look at the world, right? You start to look at other people and you start to kind of give them that benefit of a doubt, because sometimes it's so easy to judge people like, oh, this person is traveling the world and but now when I traveled and I saw how rough it is on the other side, I was like, listen, it's rough
Yeah.
out here and it's not easy. And you really have to like be so focused and so driven in the things that you do. You have to be so intentional and learning. about that process for myself allowed me to give more grace, like I said, and empathy to other people and just people's life experiences in general. So yeah, that was, it's not really a story, but that was
No,
kind
it's
of
a
what
perfect
happened.
story.
So I went to South Africa. I went to AFDA, which is a film school, one of the most recognized film schools in Africa. It was a great experience learning about filmmaking from professional industry experts, and also having to be part of a team that created a short film as well. It was really cool. All of this added to my content creation skills, being an editor and all of these things, and storytelling overall. Even in marketing, we have storytelling. In UX, we have storytelling. So all those little things added together, and you just constantly learn so much that you take from everywhere. So that's kind of the process as well. And I went and I finished my course and I came back, and then COVID hit, so I couldn't really go into the industry and start looking for work, but it is what it is. But yes, I would definitely encourage people to try things like that. Take a chance on yourself. This is the space where you use that YOLO, right? Don't use
Yep.
YOLO for other things. This is the space where you use YOLO. You take a chance on yourself, you bet on yourself, and you say, I'm doing this thing, and no matter what happens, I'm doing this because I know it's what's good for me, right? So I went and I did that, and I came back, and I'm ready for something new again.
Awesome. No, I think traveling, especially at a young age, is brilliant. It gives you a very good
Yeah.
sense of direction. And yeah, one thing you mentioned is about other people's experiences. And what I learned, maybe even too late, but I learned that when it comes to goals, it's literally you versus you. I know it sounds cliche, but
You no,
you can't
it's
compete
not.
with
It's
anybody
not
else
cliche.
because you have the data on your life, you know all your
Zero.
stories, you know everything. So
Yes.
just focus on being better every
Yeah.
single day, better than your
So
previous self
true.
every single day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And be brave. Be really brave, because sorry about that.
It's
But
okay.
be brave enough to try things, right? And be brave enough to fail as well, because honestly speaking, I think that's the other thing that holds people back, even without setting goals, without aspiring for different things, right? You go around, you tell people, I have this goal, I have that goal. People look at you like, oh, why, like, what's this one saying? What is going on here? Like, you are doing too much, that type of vibe. But it's because they are not brave enough to set big goals for themselves. So they look at you and they try to belittle you, but you being brave enough to say, this is my goal and I'm going for it, even though I look cringe, even though it looks embarrassing, whatever, just do it. Just go for it, because you're going to be better for it. You're going to learn so much in the process. You are going to be proud of yourself, and you're probably going to be richer at the end of this goal. So like, why not take that chance on yourself and go and see what happens.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right, folks, we don't have too long left, so I'll just ask,
No worries.
what are you up to these days, and how can people keep up with you?
Well, you can follow me on my socials, Comfort Ajibola, everywhere, especially on my YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube, guys. We need subscribers. Subscribe to our channels, please.
Yeah,
and then lately I'm just chilling. I'm teaching English at the moment and taking some courses in digital marketing, and getting into UX, right? And reading about UX, watching videos about UX, and doing a course on UX. I just need to get back on track with that.
Awesome. I'll help you with accountability.
Yay!
Right. Thanks, Comfort. I'll leave
You're
you with this
welcome.
today. It was a great conversation, and
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.